guys, DoorDash here, and wanting to put together this video on how you can calculate order value while you're out in the field here. So I'm doing this video sharing the screen here. Just I think it's easier to go through the calculations, and of course, as you watch my ride-alongs, I make these calculations live on the fly. But I wanted to slow it down a bit, not be under the gun of orders, and just take a minute here to explain to you how to use the chart here that I've talked about regarding calculating order value. And this is probably one of the most important exercises you can do when you're out, and that this will absolutely supercharge your ability to earn as much as possible without having to make, and it will help you make better decisions. And as I've preached in my videos, making profitable decisions equals profitable outcomes. It's completely linked. And the only way you can make profitable decisions is understand how to quickly make a decision and figure it out. So we're gonna first off take a look at this order that's up, and that order this is an order I picked from my files. And I wanted to use it because this is something that somebody would look at and say, well, how profitable is this, and how can we make this a profitable order, and what would be the circumstances one would want to take this order under. This order is, was one I got. It's for a local convenience store, and you can see the stats here. It's $5.75, 1.7 miles. So the immediate thing that would want to be done here is you'd want to look at two things here. Right off the bat, the time, which being 10:32, and the delivery time, which DoorDash gives you. Now, GrubHub does not give you the delivery time, and there's no way to estimate besides looking at the map and trying to make a decision based on your market research and your knowledge of the market on just how long you think it would be. So GrubHub leaves you kind of a disadvantage. Both DoorDash and UBEREats give you the ability to have an estimate based on their system on what you think it is, and you can use that. I do a comparison on that, and then I also use my knowledge of my market to determine if I think I can complete this order within the whatever goal I've set. So in this case here, looking at this order, it's 1.7 miles. I know you can see I'm right near the store, so I can tell you that this would probably be about a 2-minute ride to the store, and then probably about maybe a 4-minute ride to the customer's house based on the mileage and everything in the area that I'm at. So knowing that, I know I've got about a 6-minute ride time to the store back, and say 2 minutes in the store. So I know I've got about 8 minutes probably in activities, and then I'll probably need another 2 minutes of drop off. So my estimate would be I could get this order done in about 10 minutes. So let's to my chart here. So order divisor chart. So I keep this on my phone. I also keep a little card up in my visor, and I'll show that in another video. But how I use this information is I will look at it and determine at the beginning of my shift, what am I shooting for? And most of the time I'm shooting for 25 an hour. So the first thing I'm going to do, I know I need to divide any order I want to look at to find out the minutes by 41.4 cents. So first thing I'm going to do is take $5.75, divide that by 0.414. That gets me 13 minutes. Now, I've given an estimate here of 10 minutes, that I think I could get this done in 10 minutes, which means I would be far exceeding. So what I've determined, obviously, as I told you, by looking at this order, and I would go through that exercise very quickly to know I'm thinking about a 10-minute mark. Now, I like to leave a margin of error in there, so in this case, I would know I'd be cutting this very close, but I believe I could get it done within about 10 minutes, which, eyeballing that, means I'd be about 57 cents a minute, and you can see that would be well over $30 an hour. And obviously you can see this is an order that if I got to the store and it wasn't ready, then I would need to start doing some calculations immediately based on whatever time frame I was told. But looking at this order on the outset, that the order value here would be that I would be looking at. I would be looking to determine, can I get this done in 13 minutes? Now, the next thing I would do to see is this an order value that I think is worthy of my time, is I would take the amount of minutes that I see, which is 17 minutes, and divide that by 575 by 17 minutes. So 575 divided by 17 minutes, which tells you that, let's see here, times 60. So that's about 33 cents. Now, as soon as you have that figure, you'd be able to very quickly look and see, is it on my chart at all? And you'd see it's between $20 and $21 an hour. If you want to get your actual order value, you just times it by 60. And there it is, $20.29 an hour. Now for me, from an offer perspective, this would be low. However, depending on the time of the evening, depending on what's going on, this would be an order that I would believe I could make valuable to me. So if I did not have confidence that I was going to be able to find better offers, and if I had gotten a string of maybe low ball offers, I may consider saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take this order and make it happen. Now, I know I'm going to have to hustle, and I know that I'm going to have to be constantly watching this order as I do it, and I would also want to be confident that I have some cancellation availability in my cancellation rate to know that if I got to the restaurant and this thing turned into a 10 or 15 minute wait, that I got to get out of the order. So that's the knowledge, that knowing the value of this order, that you need to get this order done within 13 minutes of accepting it, meaning you would need to have this order done by 10:45 p.m. in order to make this a profitable order of $25. And then you would know that if you got it done in 17 minutes, okay, you'd be at $20, just a hair over $20 an hour. And you know anything over 17 minutes, you're dropping and dropping and dropping. And, you know, if you have a break-even point that's lower than $20, well, I would caution against that. But if you do, you can kind of start to calculate where it's going by simply starting to calculate and saying, well, if you're at the restaurant, so you got to the restaurant and it's 10:35 and they say it's going to be 10 minutes, and once you accept the order, you can start to put together your information. Because once you get there to the pickup and they tell you how long it is, so let's just say I got to the pickup here, it's 10:35, and then I was able to, and I talked to somebody there and they say it'll be about another 10 minutes. So I know I'm leaving at 10:45. At that point, I can run the address in DoorDash. UBEREats doesn't allow you to do that, so it's a little bit of a disadvantage with UBEREats. But you can run the, you can run the figure and see, all right, how far am I to the address? Run it through Google Maps or an external app, and then figure out, okay, maybe it's 5-minute drive away. So now I'm thinking, okay, it's 10:45, 10:55. I grab it, minute to walk, minute to deliver, 5-minute drive out. I'm looking at probably, 10:52. I'm looking at a 20-minute order. 575 divided by 20 times 60. It's going to tell me that's 1725. That might still be okay for you. You may still feel okay with it. At least you have the knowledge to know, hey, this is where I'm going to be at, and I don't want to get in the weeds to where suddenly this order, which could very quickly happen, becomes a $5 or $8 an hour order if you go too long or too deep. Because take 575 and let's say this becomes a 35-minute order, you would then be in the situation where you'd be making $9 an hour. So you know where you don't want it to go, and it allows you to know at your point of cancellation. On the flip side, you also have the opportunity to where you can utilize the longer miles and saying, okay, if I know I can, I get a larger order and I know I can get it done faster than what I think it would be, it gives you a lot more leeway to get the order done faster and use that order to finance the rest of your hour, or maybe you finance a little bit of a lighter time, or you can even really amplify your earnings if you realize, hey, you know what, I can quickly get back to a place where I can get orders. And I'll show you what I mean with that let's just take an order. Let's say this order payout was, say, $15.25, and it was going, say, 13 miles. All right, so you might be like, wow, that's a lot of miles. However, what this calculation is going to tell you is you would now know you would have 36 minutes to get that order done. If you look at the order and you say, man, I'm 3 minutes from the restaurant, and I get to the restaurant and you find out there's like a 4-minute wait or a 5-minute wait or say a 10-minute wait, right? And you know, hey, I got to the restaurant and we'll just take this order, say it's 10:32. You get to the restaurant, it's 10:35. You now know there's a 10-minute wait. It's going to be, that's going to put you at 10:45. So you know you've got 13 minutes in the order. You just start subtracting backwards. That gives you 23 minutes of travel time and still be on task for 25 an hour. So you run the directions and it tells you you're 17 minutes away. And you go, okay, that leaves me 6 minutes to get back to where I can get an order and still be on track for $25. And if I get an order before that or on my way there, if I turn my apps back on close to the drop off and I can get another order lined up, then I will have no wait time because I'll be on another order now with that order, focusing just like I am on this order and making sure I'm maximizing the value of that order as well. So this is how you can amplify earnings. This is how you use this figure to do it. It's the most important thing you can learn to do. If you learn how to do this, you will start to naturally amplify your earnings and use this chart. And it just starts with simple math. Simply taking this figure here, the cents, and dividing it by the order value, and that will give you the amount of minutes you have to complete that order. And then you have to use your knowledge of your market and your restaurants and your relationships. You will obviously, as a brand new individual, new to the trade, will not have all of that information right away, but it will be something you can observe. So you will be able to say, okay, this is what I needed to do this. Did this restaurant meet that guidelines? How did they do? How did I do? How did it all come up? And eventually, within about 30 to 60 days, you're going to have a great understanding of your market, a great understanding of the restaurants in your market, and you will be able to amplify your earnings. So guys, I hope this sheds a little light on how you can use this. Like I said, I recommend either putting this in your notes on your phone if you have an iPhone. You could even put it in the notes on your Samsung. I know Samsung has a notes app. Or if you're using a notes app, you can put it in there. Or you can get an index card. Write these down right on the index card, stick it right up in your visor, tape it to your visor on the inside, or just stick it up there and pull it down. And at the beginning of every shift, just be aware of exactly what your divisor is, and it's very easy. As soon as you get the order, you do the calculation. You look at it, and your evaluation is, okay, it's telling me I need to do this in 15 minutes. Can I do it? You make that estimate. If you don't think you can do it in 15 minutes, you say, okay, I can do it in 18 minutes. Divide that 18 minutes into the order amount, look at the chart. You can very quickly know where you're sitting, between $22 and $23 an hour. You may say, hey man, I'm down with that. That's awesome. I'll still do the order. Except, boom. Then you can continue to evaluate. How's the order going? Where are you on track to earn? What are you on track to get? Where's the value of this order? The value starts plummeting and you're like, okay, you can make a decision on whether or not it would be better off to find another order that might have a better value to help you recoup some of what you're losing. In other words, maybe you took something you thought you were going to make valuable and it turned out it was not going to be that anymore. If you understand how to value out orders, you understand how to look for that next order to make it valuable enough to offset what's going on. Obviously, that's got to be done in a busy time, during like a dinner rush, a lunch rush. On the in-between, you can make your adjustments. You may say, hey, I want to fall, and I do that. That's why I go 20 to 30. If I'm on the in-between in the afternoon, I'm looking 20 to 22. If I'm on a dinner, it's 25 to 30. If I'm on a lunch, it's 22 to 25. That's what I'm looking at. And that's just my own personal. So guys, you can use this to determine how you want to do it. I will be putting out another video on how to use the order breakdown chart that I use, so you can evaluate your decisions that you're making. If you're collecting all your screenshots, it will allow you to go back, input this information in, and evaluate how did you actually do, how profitable was that shift, how profitable are those decisions, and do you need to make some adjustments. That video will be coming out next. I wanted to do this in order first so you can understand. To me, this is the most important thing, that you're out on the road. You start understanding this, you're going to see your earnings jump up. Any questions, put them in the comments. If I need to do another video on the questions, I'll absolutely do it. And guys, I'll be talking to you soon.